Attorney Dan Newlin commenced training regulation in Orlando, Florida, 19 years in the past with one secretary in a small indoors office, formerly a broom closet. Mr. Newlin made an early identify for himself as a relentless suggest for his clients, actually working day and nighttime for justice, acquiring a file placing $24 million greenback verdict for the household of a slain Orlando police officer, and a $2 million greenback verdict on a case which was once grew to become away with the aid of an attorney from giant regulation firm. Mr. Newlin separated himself from his opposition by means of imparting highest quality aggressive illustration with the perfect degree of professionalism. Today, Mr. Newlin has grown his single workplace regulation association into one of the biggest regulation companies in the USA, with 9 stellar classification and entirely staffed places of work throughout Central Florida using over 300 guide team of workers and 80 expert attorneys. Dan Newlin Injury Attorneys has recovered billions of dollars for accident victims from Central Florida and has been diagnosed as one of the nation's pinnacle non-public damage regulation corporations in addition to being voted Excellent Regulation Association by using the Orlando Sentinel and Orlando Commercial Enterprise Journal. Attorney Dan Newlin commenced his profession in public provider at the younger age of 20, working for the new Chicago, Indiana Police Department as a patrol officer and fire department as an emergency medic. Mr. Newlin later ordinary a role with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, positioned in Orlando, Florida, the place he served 10 years working as a patrol officer and sheriff's detective. While working as a detective, Attorney Dan Newlin acquired several awards for going above and past the name of responsibility, and was once diagnosed for his great career by means of the United States Justice Department and the United States Marshal's Office. In 1997, Attorney Dan Newlin was once Universal to Regulation faculty, and proudly attended the Florida State College of Law, the place he graduated in December 2000. Attorney Dan Newlin is proud to be licensed to exercise regulation in each Illinois and Florida, the place he continues workplaces offering professional and wonderful felony offerings supporting harm and accident victims. Attorney Dan Newlin started working towards regulation in Orlando, Florida, supporting damage and accident victims with the intention of presenting tremendous provider and getting amazing effects for his clients. Mr. Newlin made an early identify for himself as a relentless recommend for his clients, literally working day and nighttime for justice, obtaining file verdicts of $24 million verdict for the household of a slain Orlando police officer, and a $100 million verdict on a case for a younger female from Central Florida who sustained a serious talent injury. Mr. Newlin separated himself from different attorneys by imparting finest aggressive illustration with the best possible stage of professionalism. Today, Mr. Newlin has grown his single workplace regulation company into one of the biggest regulation corporations in the United States, with 10 absolutely staffed places of work throughout Florida using over 300 guide team of workers and 80 expert attorneys. Mr. Newlin's criminal group continues to have a robust popularity for success and a demonstrated triumphing record, recuperating billions of dollars for accident victims. Dan Newlin Injury Attorneys has been voted best law firm via the Orlando Sentinel and Orlando Business Journal. As well, Attorney Dan Newlin is identified as a national trial lawyer and via Super Lawyers for his achievements. If you are in want of felony offerings for an injury, accident, or wrongful death, you can contact the law offices of Dan Newlin Injury Attorneys at 407-888-8000 for immediately help.